The 8.5 update brings a new branch of German tanks to the game, as well as Soviet light tanks and a new map. The VK20.01D will be one of the new vehicles to be introduced in the 8.5 update. This Tier 4 medium tank will certainly scare everyone with its powerful 75mm gun. It effectively fires HE and heat shells, while its rapid firing rate allows it to quickly deal damage against a variety of opponents. Its flaw is the low accuracy and shell speed that's somewhat typical for such cannons. The VK30.01D medium tank will join in at Tier 6. It's similar to the VK30.02D and shares some of its features, like good mobility, an accurate cannon with decent armor penetration, and a high rate of fire. The VK30.01D is good for assisting other medium and heavy tanks or protecting artillery from enemy scouts. It's not as effective if played alone, since it doesn't match up well with other tanks of an equal or higher tier. The W.O.T. Unsponsor Panther will be the new Tier 7 light tank. A notable feature is its comparable size to other heavy tanks, like the IS-4 and the E-75. It also has thick frontal armor, a feature that's not typical for light tanks. For a tank of its size, W.O.T. Unsponsor Panther has good acceleration. It also has a high turret traverse speed and 2 cannons to choose from. However, it has a low damage output, low elevation angles, and a large size for a light tank that makes scouting a little more difficult. When playing as this particular tank, it's important to support allies across the battlefield. It's also possible to heavily damage light and medium tanks by ramming, thanks to its strong frontal armor. The Indian Panzer will make its introduction as a Tier 8 medium tank. It's an all-purpose vehicle that can fight in any situation thanks to its high mobility, decent armor, and a highly ricocheting frontal armor. This tank's cannon is noted for a good balance between firing rate, armor penetration, accuracy, and damage. It's also suitable for both experienced and novice players. Next, we have the Leopard Prototype A in Tier 9. This fast and mobile tank has the same cannon as the Tier 10 Leopard 1 medium tank, but it has a lower firing rate and accuracy. When playing as the Leopard Prototype A, it's important to play cautiously because it has weak armor. Almost any artillery shot could destroy this tank, so it's important to fire from a distance or provide support for allies. This vehicle is not meant for assault, but works well in the role of a sniper. The Leopard 1 Tier 10 medium tank will be the pinnacle of the new German medium tanks branch. Its accurate gun and high mobility helps to turn this vehicle into a real hunter. It's close to the E50M but more mobile and has a higher rate of fire, and it has a spectacular view range of 410 meters. However, its weak armor and low weight cause the Leopard 1 to not fully utilize the same tactics found in the E50M. As such, ramming isn't one of the tactics to employ against enemy tanks. In addition, opponents can easily penetrate the Leopard 1's armor and artillery can inflict a lot of damage. So play this tank from a distance, periodically changing positions. Only experienced and skilled players can fully realize the potential of the Leopard 1. Don't rush into battle and be familiar enough with this vehicle's strengths. Also, study the map features and use them to your advantage whenever possible. In addition to the new German tanks, there will be new Soviet tanks as well, the T-60, the T-70, and the T-80. These vehicles won't have great mobility, but are a lot of fun to play. The T-80 uses a cassette loading system that's similar to the drum system that makes it a very dangerous opponent. These new tanks are basically an alternative to the T-34. They're not quite as fast as the BT-2, the BT-7, and the A-20, but can still be effective on the battlefield. As we mentioned earlier, the 8.5 update will introduce a new map. It's an Asian-themed map, and at first glance it resembles Dragon Ridge. but it's a much smaller map. It's possible to quickly enter the enemy base through the north, which is crucial for heavy tanks because it's the main defensive point for the Allied base. The sides of the map are best for mobile tanks, since there are many points that allow you to snipe at enemy vehicles moving through the center of the map. Use these to help defend the base. As you can see, this map is full of eye candy with its bright sun, flowing river, bridges, a watermill, the junction of city, landscape, and other unique features. Speaking of maps, 3 of them were remade for this update to have improved graphics. Siegfried Line will be enriched with lots of small objects and details, such as sun shafts cutting through the trees. Tank destroyers will now be able to take advantage of various breaches, and it will be possible to move into the corners of the map. South Coast will have a rockier appearance with more areas for cover, and much more sniper-friendly, thanks to some hills. Though the sun will shine through a little bit more now, it won't overwhelm the serious gray tones that give this map its character. Malinovka has been remade with better visuals and more tactical options. The field remains mostly the same, and the lake now has a shelf along the hill. Malinovka preserved its key features and became a much prettier place to do battle. Various gameplay and visual adjustments to Redshire, El Haluf, Karelia, Prohorovka, Sand River, and to the assault mode on several maps have made their way into this update. The base on Malinovka is now situated in the village. Sand River, it's in the town instead of the dunes. And Karelia now has different tank spawn points. All of these adjustments make the gameplay more interesting and balanced. There were also a lot of minor changes that a sharp eye might spot. Players without premium will now be able to create a 3-person platoon in tank companies. Premium consumables will be available for credits. And the last bit of news is that the top speed for the IS-7 was raised to 60 kilometers per hour. This concludes our 8.5 update review. We can't wait to share all of the exciting details coming up for World of Tanks. Good luck and roll out!